For us, is to your point, our core business, in fact, Bill started the company as a tools company. And so to us, the interesting thing I think about now is maybe the way we should reconceptualize our tools is an infrastructure, quite frankly, are the tools and the infrastructure for the agents to use. Because even the SWE agent needs a bunch of tools. And what shape should they be? What should their infrastructure, what should their sandboxes be? So a lot of what we're going to do is essentially evolve even what does the GitHub repo construct even look for the SWE agent?
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting concept. And I mean, I tend to think that like every engineer is effectively going to end up being more of like a tech lead in the future that has sort of their own little army of engineering agents that they work with. But yeah. So with that all in mind, I mean, I guess I mean, there are a few directions to go in. I mean, I'm curious, like, how, I mean, you mentioned your personal workflow for using AI. I'm curious how that's changed. I'm also kind of curious, because you were talking about how Microsoft got started on this and the legacy there. But I mean, I guess there's always this question, if you were getting started as a developer today building something, how would you think about which tools you'd be using?
I think that one of the biggest sort of, I'll call it, I don't know, dreams, pursuits, questions that Bill sort of inculcated in all of us was, what's the difference between, he used to sort of talk about it more like, what's the difference between a document and an application and a website? Right now, if you use Meta AI, ChatGPT, Copilot, what have you, it's unclear to me what's the difference between a chat session and then I go to pages in our case, like literally even coming down, I was like reading up everything about Llama 4, all the models, like literally I was just doing a bunch of chat sessions, adding it to a document effectively in pages, persisting it. And then you can go give it. I mean, since you have code completion, you can go, make it an app or what have you. And so this idea that you can start with a high-level intent and end up with what is an artifact that is a living artifact that you would have called in the past an application is going to have profound implications, I think, on workflows. And I think we are at the beginning of that. And that's what my dream is. So if I sort of say, as a builder of infrastructure and tools and as a user of it, these artificial category boundaries, not artificial, or these category boundaries that were created, mostly because of limitations of how our software worked, perhaps you transcend. In fact, the other thing we used to always think about is, why are Word, Excel, PowerPoint different? Why isn't it one thing? And we've tried multiple attempts of it. But now you can conceive of it, right? Which is you can start in Word and you can sort of visualize things like Excel and present it, and they can all be persisted as one data structure or what have you. And so to me, that malleability that was not as robust before is now there.
Yeah, interesting, makes sense. So one of the things that